Poet and author Matthew Michael Collins here. So last night I watched the movie Ad Astra from 2019. If you don't want any spoilers, change it. Okay, so recently I've seen Moon from 2009 with Sam Rockwell. I dug it. It was alright. I also saw Saturn III from 1980. That was fun. I enjoyed that more than I thought I would. I had seen that one for a long time. What kind of started this all off was Interstellar, which I really thought was good. I dug that one. So if you want to just stop right now, write those three down and go watch them, you'll be much more safe than listening to the rest of this, because I'm about ready to pick apart Ad Astra. I didn't think it was a complete waste of time. It started off fine. It drew me in. If a movie sucks after 20 minutes, I will stop it. It didn't. There were elements of it that I liked. I am a Brad Pitt fan. I recently watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which was fantastic. I like Fight Club, I don't like World War Z, so I'm not like a Brad Pitt fanboy or something. But he's got some good films. Sometimes. Ad Astra was unfortunately not one of them. Brad Pitt and Tommy Lee Jones couldn't do it. And here's why. Again, incoming spoilers, so change it. First thing okay, so when you're watching a movie, you've got to have what's called suspension of disbelief, because obviously, like a map, don't confuse the map for the territory. So you know that a movie represents something, right? It could have so many meanings, and sometimes that can change the way you look at the movie. And maybe that'll happen if I read some in-depth analysis of what Ad Astra is supposed to have meant, or watch a in-depth video that someone that studied the psychology of Ad Astra or something. Maybe not. Anyways, so at one point they're on the moon getting chased by pirates. That's fine. Okay. But everyone around them gets shot, and I'm thinking, what's the chance of the person that's the non-military person surviving this? First of all, I call BS. But it's not just that. They get shot, and they get spun around, and they land far away, and I'm thinking, okay, their ship's damaged, or they're dead, or something, right? No. We'll get back to this, because this is an important part of the film. Anyways, fast forward, way forward, toward the end. Massive spoiler alert. He goes and meets his dad, who ends up not being the hero that he thought he was at first. And the rest of the crew are dead, which, anyone that's ever manned a ship on the water, let alone a spaceship, knows that you've got to have your crew with you. Now, granted, the ship was already starting to go, but I'm sure they had to have some duties to perform. Like my son plays Among Us. There's roles that you have to do, tasks, okay, chores essentially. And if you don't, then you're not gonna make it. Okay, so that didn't even occur to me as bothering me yet. That's how much suspension of disbelief I had. Okay, it's a sci-fi movie. It's supposed to be fun. So, don't get me wrong. I've watched a lot of silly movies. Those other movies that I mentioned had silly stuff that happened to them. No problem. But then you get to where I draw the line, like the alien Romulus. I literally stopped that movie with 20 minutes left. Only 20 minutes. I will never finish that movie. It was so bad. And spoiler alert for that movie. I mean, the character has only so much ammo. So you're thinking, okay, they're running out of ammo. They've got to figure out a different way to go about it to solve your problem, because that would make sense. Why point out that there's only so much ammo if you're going to go on a shooting spree? Guess what happens? You could imagine. They go on a shooting spree, and I'm just sitting here thinking, what? And that was just the beginning of me losing it on that one. But I did. I should have done a review on that one, but that one really irked me. much more than Ad Astra. Ad Astra was worth watching. Alien Romulus, no, I would steer anyone far from that. Even if you're an Alien fan, because I am. I love Alien, and I'll take Alien over Alien 2. I know a lot of people disagree with that. That's fine. Alien 3 was interesting. I need to watch Alien Resurrection again because it's been a long time, and a lot of people talk trash on that movie. Anyways, back to Ad Astra. So, oh man, it gets bad. The ship won't. He takes an emergency vessel or something, capsule, whatever they call it, and it won't dock because it's damaged. So I'm just thinking, okay, well, he can't do his mission then. But no, of course not. The movie has a non-explained solution. So he just gets out of the ship as it's floating off into space, totally fine, grabs onto the door, opens it, gets in. Ugh, whew. I knew I was in for it at this point because it kept coming, right? And boy, did it ever. So then he and his dad, he gets out, clamps onto the ship, and his dad decides he's just going to float off to Neptune. And so he has no choice but to let go. Okay, so he lets go of his dad. But I thought it was weird because the clamp came off, and I'm thinking, oh, no, you don't want the clamp to come off. So I thought, okay, he's just going to go with him. Nope. He starts floating, I should say swimming through space back to the ship that he just left. Ooh. But it doesn't end there. Oh no, it does not end there. Then, not only that, he's really, really far from the other ship, and he swims through space all the way there with no problem. And that's not enough. Then he has no way to propel himself back to Earth, so he waits for the other ship that he planted a bomb on to explode, and that propels him back to Earth. Ooh. And that's not even the end. Then, not only that, maybe they didn't show everything that happened, obviously, because there's not enough time. Don't confuse the map with the territory. But it shows him black out or fall asleep for the whole ride home. And on the way there, it shows him he had to eat, he had to drink, it had some realism, Not on the way back, he just falls asleep and wakes up, and he's Earth's hero. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, if they show a flashback scene of when he crashed on Mars, and he actually died at that point, and the rest was just a fantasy, that could have been cool. So you see how you could save a movie from not sucking? Have some care for what happens instead of just putting together a bunch of crap, unless you're a dung beetle, because that's about what this movie was. I was glad that I watched it still, because here's the thing. Art's subjective, so Ad Astra might be your favorite movie. Good for you, that's fine. I don't like film critics because, first of all, I don't rate 1 through 10. I rate how much impact did it have on me. It did have an impact enough to irk me a little. Not the best impact, but it did have impact. And second of all, how much do you want to watch it again? Okay, so it had impact on me. Not the best impact, but it did. Watch it again? Never. So there's my rating. You tell me, and more importantly, please leave me some sci-fi movies in the comments, because Moon from 2009, I liked it. Interstellar, I really liked it. Saturn, what was it? Saturn 13 or something? I forget. I have my laptop closed now. I enjoy that as well. So ballpark what I like. So if you're so kind and inclined, please send me some sci-fi movies to watch. I will make a review of it if it tickles my fancy enough. I cannot recommend Ad Astra, but like I said, I'm not saying that I would steer you away from it like I would Alien Romulus, because that movie is just not worth watching, in my opinion. Again, art is subjective. I'm glad they're making these films still. I hated that one. Not as much. Ad Astra's not as bad as Alien Romulus. Thanks for watching.